Walder Frey. Walder Frey is the Lord of the Twins who rises by violating guest right, a sacred protection granted after sharing bread and salt. His ruthlessness concentrates in treachery rather than sustained violence or grand strategy. In physical terms, he does not fight. Instead, he commands a targeted massacre at the Red Wedding, where crossbows and hidden blades kill King Robb Stark, Catelyn Stark, and Stark Tully retainers inside his hall. This is brutality by order, limited to a single engineered event rather than a continuing campaign of torture or war crimes. In manipulation and betrayal, Frey's method is calculated deception, public reconciliation, music as a signal, disarmed guards, and coordinated sealing of exits. He times the betrayal to maximize enemy vulnerability and to broadcast that House Frey punishes slights. Politically, his ambition is narrow and transactional. He seeks elevation from minor lord to regional power by exchanging treachery for Lannister favor, claiming River Run and better marriages for his offspring. This is parochial advancement, not a bid for the Iron Throne or realm-wide dominion. His impact is immediate but shallow. The Red Wedding ends the Northern War effort and realigns the Riverlands, yet brands House Frey as oathbreakers, creating enduring enmity that later enables swift reprisals against his line. Gregor the Mountain Clegane. Gregor Clegane, called the Mountain That Rides, is a knight in title but a war criminal in practice. His ruthlessness is almost entirely in physical brutality. During the sack of King's Landing, he smashed the infant Prince Aegon against a wall, then raped and murdered Princess Elia Martell. These acts permanently shaped Dornish hatred toward the Lannisters. In the Riverlands, he leads raiding parties that burn villages, torture captives, and commit widespread rape and slaughter. In combat, Gregor's violence is equally shocking. He beheads a horse in rage during a joust, and he kills Oberyn Martell by crushing his skull with his bare hands while confessing to Elia's murder. In manipulation and betrayal, Gregor contributes little. He is a blunt instrument who follows orders without question, functioning as Tywin Lannister's and later Cersei's enforcer. His betrayal lies in dishonoring the ideals of knighthood. In political ambition, Gregor has none. He does not scheme for titles or power, content to hold his keep and indulge sadism. His lack of ambition makes him pliable for those in command, heightening his usefulness as a weapon. Gregor's impact on the story is both direct and indirect. His crimes ignite Oberyn Martell's vengeance, leading to Tyrion Lannister's trial by combat, and later, Tyrion's escape. His presence in the Riverlands fuels insurgency by the Brotherhood without banners. Finally, his reanimation as Sir Robert Strong makes him Cersei's ultimate instrument of fear. Tywin Lannister. Tywin Lannister, head of House Lannister and Hand of the King, embodies cold, pragmatic ruthlessness. His physical brutality is indirect but decisive. He commands large-scale atrocities without lifting a sword himself. Most infamously, he orchestrates the Red Wedding by negotiating with Walder Frey and Ramsay Bolton to slaughter Robb Stark and his bannermen. Earlier, he oversees the sack of King's Landing, where his soldiers kill Elia Martell and her children. In his youth, he exterminates House Reyne of Castamere to deter rebellion. In manipulation and betrayal, Tywin is highly skilled. He betrays his sworn Targaryen king during Robert's rebellion, entering King's Landing under a false promise of aid before turning to plunder. He manipulates Frey and Bolton loyalties with promises of lands and titles, converting them into traitors against the Starks. Within his own family, he uses Tyrion, Cersei, and Jaime as political tools, disregarding personal bonds when they conflict with Lannister power. His political ambition is precise: consolidate House Lannister as Westeros's preeminent dynasty. He engineers marriages, controls succession, and maintains financial dominance through Lannister gold. Tywin's impact is far-reaching. He secures Lannister supremacy during the War of the Five Kings, ensures temporary stability in King's Landing, and reshapes northern politics by empowering the Boltons. His death creates a power vacuum that destabilizes the crown, showing his role as both the architect of Lannister victory and the keystone holding their power together. Petyr Baelish. Petyr Baelish, known as Littlefinger, is the architect of long-term chaos through deception rather than force. His physical brutality is minimal but precise. He murders his wife, Lysa Arryn, by pushing her through the moon door, and he personally holds a dagger to Ned Stark's throat during Ned's arrest. Although he seldom kills directly, the wars and massacres triggered by his schemes account for thousands of deaths. In manipulation and betrayal, Littlefinger is unmatched. He begins the War of the Five Kings by persuading Lysa Arryn to poison her husband, Jon Arryn, then has her send a letter blaming the Lannisters. He betrays Ned Stark after promising support. Later, he secures control of the Vale by marrying and murdering Lysa, and he betrays Sansa Stark by arranging her marriage to Ramsay Bolton. Every alliance he forms is temporary, discarded as soon as a better opportunity appears. Littlefinger's political ambition is clear: climb from minor lord to supreme power. He acquires Harrenhal, becomes Lord Protector of the Vale, and openly declares his goal of ruling the Iron Throne with Sansa at his side. His strategy is to exploit turmoil as opportunity, chaos as a ladder. His impact is foundational. The entire Civil War traces back to his machinations. He destabilizes noble houses, fractures alliances, and accumulates influence quietly until the Stark siblings expose his lies and execute him. Joffrey Baratheon. Joffrey Baratheon, crowned king after Robert's death, is defined by impulsive cruelty and arrogance. His physical brutality is exercised through authority rather than personal combat. He orders the beheading of Eddard Stark despite counsel for mercy, an act that ignites rebellion. He repeatedly humiliates and beats Sansa Stark through his guards. He also kills prostitutes with a crossbow for amusement. In manipulation and betrayal, Joffrey is less skilled but still destructive. He reneges on implicit agreements, such as executing Ned after promising clemency. He lies, blames others, and breaks expected duties of kingship, like protecting his betrothed. His unpredictability destabilizes alliances, since even his own family cannot anticipate his decisions. His political ambition is shallow, but absolute. Joffrey craves the title and spectacle of kingship, relishing tournaments, executions, and public displays of authority. He shows no capacity for governance or diplomacy, leaving real statecraft to Tywin and Cersei. Joffrey's impact is disproportionate to his brief reign. By killing Ned Stark, he triggers the War of the Five Kings. His cruelty provokes conspiracies that lead to his poisoning at the Purple Wedding. Cersei Lannister. Cersei Lannister, daughter of Tywin, ascends from queen consort to ruling queen through calculated ruthlessness. Her physical brutality is carried out through others and through mass destruction. The most devastating act is the destruction of the Great Sept of Baelor, killing the High Sparrow, Margaery Tyrell, and hundreds of citizens. She also employs Sir Gregor Clegane as her personal executioner. In manipulation and betrayal, Cersei is consistently active. She conceals Joffrey's true parentage to secure Lannister dominance. She betrays Ned Stark, manipulates the Faith Militant to weaken the Tyrells, then destroys them. She pledges alliance with Daenerys and Jon against the White Walkers, then secretly abandons the plan. Her political ambition intensifies after the deaths of her children. Initially, she sought power to protect them. Later, she seeks it solely for herself. She crowns herself Queen of the Seven Kingdoms and refuses to yield even when humanity itself is at risk. Cersei's impact is vast. She eliminates House Tyrell, destabilizes King's Landing, and alienates allies. Her wildfire explosion redefines her as the Mad Queen and sets the stage for Daenerys' final assault. Euron Greyjoy. Euron Greyjoy, called Crow's Eye, is a pirate lord of the Iron Islands whose ruthlessness blends brutality with grand ambition. His physical brutality is extreme. He murders brothers to secure succession, mutilates crews by cutting out their tongues, and spreads terror through rape, torture, and murder. In the show, he kills Balon Greyjoy and later slays a dragon with a giant crossbow. In manipulation and betrayal, Euron exploits chaos. At the King's Moot, he wins the crown with promises of conquest, then betrays rivals at sea. He abandons alliances when convenient and deceives kin without hesitation. In the books, he uses sorcery and psychological torment, particularly against his brother Aeron. His political ambition surpasses most villains. He seeks not just regional dominance, but global conquest. In the books, he pursues Dragonbinder to control dragons and claims he will become a god king. In the show, he seeks marriage with Cersei as a path to rule Westeros. Euron's impact destabilizes Westeros. He forces Theon and Yara into exile, bolsters Cersei's war effort, and threatens Daenerys' fleet. In the novels, he is positioned as a potential apocalyptic force. Ramsay Bolton. Ramsay Bolton, legitimized son of Rose Bolton, is the most ruthless villain in both the books and the series. His physical brutality is sadism for its own sake. He tortures Theon Greyjoy, castrates him, and reduces him to reek. He rapes and brutalizes Sansa Stark, murders his own family, and feeds victims to his hounds. He hunts women for sport and flays captives alive. In manipulation and betrayal, Ramsay uses psychological torment. He feigns rescuing Theon only to return him to captivity, breaking him with alternating hope and despair. He betrays his father once a true-born heir is born, securing succession by patricide. He also breaks promises of mercy, using lies to lure victims before torturing them. Politically, Ramsay's ambition is narrow. He seeks recognition as Warden of the North, not the Iron Throne. He occupies Winterfell and marries Sansa Stark to graft Stark legitimacy onto Bolton rule. His reliance on fear erodes loyalty, making his authority fragile. Ramsay's impact is unifying. His atrocities rally the northern houses behind Jon Snow and Sansa, culminating in the Battle of the Bastards. His defeat restores Stark power and eliminates the most sadistic antagonist in the North. Villains come and go in Game of Thrones, but the Targaryens, they invented crazy. Click on the video on your screen now to see just how evil each and every one of them truly was.